England win the Euros? Can England win the Euros? Anyway, ignore him. He's so embalmed with the spirit of England winning the Euros that he's gone for an England. He's basically wearing a bit of an England top. Would you say that's a bit of an England top? I think it is.
I think it contains a bit of Croatia and Czech Republic as well.
Is that
against
right?
England. Yeah,
is that right?
I think I'll go because you're white and blue this summer, aren't you? You're making blue, not red.
Oh, all right. Well, not so
anyway,
sure.
I hope you don't.
You hope England win the Euros. Sorry, Jay.
I got England in the sweepstake. I genuinely hope I've just lost a tenner. It's the first time I've ever had some bet and want to lose it immediately.
I had some cash the other day for the first time in ages. I'll give you a tenner if England win. There you go. How good's that? Well, oh, no, you've already got one. Yeah, good on. You've won the sweepstake. You can be a tenner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lovely. Anything you want to say, Gio?
Yes, Scarito, if you head to the link in the description below in the pinned comments of this video, it's a completely free prediction game, so you can support the channel by taking up 3 minutes of your time and costs you nothing. Click the link that's in the description or the pinned comments, sign up and get your predictions in and join in. It's as simple as that. If we get 500 entries, we get a little bit of money for Scarito. If we get 499 entries, we get nothing. It's simple as that. But if we get 500, myself and Gonzo are going to spend some of the money on prizes. We're going to give 3 prizes. 1 for the overall winner and 2 for just random participants. So get entered. It's free. It's fun. Get entered and support the channel.
But please do use the link below. If you go and Google it and find it under your own Steam, it doesn't work. Got to click that link. Then I know Hammer's Chat have sent you there. We'll be playing it. All you've got to do is predict England to win the Euro. You haven't got to. You predict who you think. But obviously you'll think it. But this is what this video is about. Do we think England can win the Euros? And I've got my thoughts. What do you think, being a foreigner, Gio?
I think you should be able to win the Euros. I think your squad is good enough. I think you've got world-class players. Not every country has those. I think you've got fantastic talent in every position. I know he's got 3 right backs there. But even if you only had 2, you've got 2 top right backs, 2 top left backs. Your front 3, 4 should be creating lots and lots of chances, scoring lots of goals. You've got strength in every position, England. Usually you've got like a weak position. Do you remember the golden generation had that left midfield where no one really could play, so you'd shoehorn Lampard out there or something like that. You don't really have that this time around. You've actually got strong players in every single position on the pitch. I think you should be able to win it. But your manager just stops me thinking you will. I just don't trust Southgate. I think he's bottled it with his team selection. He even got a bit of an out. Trent Alexander-Arnold got injured. It's like, well, there you go, Southgate. You've now got a way to get out of this. And he still bottled it by taking in Ben White. He could have taken Ward-Prowse, even Ollie Watkins, an extra attacker, but he didn't. He went for Ben White. I kind of get it because Mings has looked shocking for you. But at the same time, I just think it's a bit... I don't know. He's fallen into the same trap that previous managers have done with the inclusion of Jordan Henderson and in particular Harry Maguire. I mean, when's he going to be fit? So why is he in the squad? I'm not sure. I just think Southgate's this one thing that's stopping me thinking that he could go on and win this.
I think that's one of the few things he's got right is the Ben White thing, actually, because I do think if there's anything that's going to stop England winning it, it's going to be our defence. Did you have any thoughts or feelings, let's say, about Lingard not getting a call up? Did you expect it? How's that work out for West Ham, just before we go on to the thing?
I expected him to get called up, but I don't... Trying to take McLaren blue specs off, I think the players in that position are better than him. Sancho, Rashford, Mount, Grealish, Foden, they're all ahead of Jesse Lingard in the pecking order, so I kind of get it, to be honest with you. I'm gutted for Jesse. Did he deserve to get in there? Yeah, he probably did. But he's not the only one. So did Ollie Watkins. So did James Ward-Prowse. These players couldn't have done anything more at their clubs during the season. Danny Ings arguably couldn't have done more at Southampton this season either. But there's not enough room for them all. And once you've gone past sort of who deserves to be in through form, it then comes down to ability to some extent. And I think that's where Jesse has lost out, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. I did think, just from an England perspective, I haven't sort of really worked out how it plays out for West Ham. I haven't even cemented my thoughts on that yet. I'm undecided. For England, I do think the Ben White thing was the correct decision because the squad did look lopsided. And when you look at Maguire and you look at the options at centre back, I immediately thought he's got one light on centre half. It's all very well saying this guy can play there, that guy can play there. Well, that's if you're going to play a 3 or you definitely want to play a 3. Both warm-ups he's played before at the back. So clearly that's something he wants to do. And you look at it, actually, you're going to need another centre-back there, mate. So another indication of him sort of stumbling into something there. The right-back thing is odd. That was our last warm-up game. When I say that, I'm talking about the Romania game, which was obviously last night. Despite having a load of right-backs, he goes and plays a centre-half. Now, I understand for Everton, he's played all over the place. I get that. But it's still a weird thing to do, to play that utility player there and not one of the right backs. I understand it probably was only Trippier that could play there because the others haven't been put into the squad. But still, I still find it will play Trippier there because you've got all these right backs. You're playing anyone but a right back there, and then Trippier plays at left. But it's almost like he's trying to prove a point. I just think his thinking is incredibly muddled, and it's all very complicated, you know, very cryptic way of doing things. Round pegs and square holes all over the place. That being said, that's the defence. There is, I think, a massive reason to. Well, I think there's a few massive reasons to be hopeful and to be expectant of England. I think one of them's Harry Kane for obvious reasons. I think he's just such a quality player. He's so good, it's unbelievable. And I think, having seen the game against Austria, I know people said he didn't have the greatest game, but there were a couple of moments in that game where he looked just top quality. There was one where he did misdirection, turned away in the midfield, pinged the ball out to whoever was playing wide right. You know, just beautiful bit of play. And what it showed me was that he had not been impacted by his ridiculously poorly timed transfer request. The other one is Jack Grealish, and he is just quality. He's the type of player that the other teams, the good teams, the people you might expect to play well, be it France or Spain, he's the type of player they're going to have. He is not somebody that those teams, whatever the French equivalent of Jack Grealish, Le Jacques Grealish, for instance, would be playing. Rather than more functional player. He has to play. I am worried that he won't, Geo, but I do think it's integral. I'm not saying you don't play Mount or you don't play Foden, but surely you've got to play to your strengths here. And I think out of the guys that play left, and this is the point, so who plays left for us? Sterling, Rashford. And Grealish. I think Grealish is the best of the bunch at the moment on form.
Yeah, I think you'll go with Sterling or Rashford, though. I think you will go with one of them two. And I think Mason Mount's probably ahead of the pecking order than Grealish for sort of the number 10 role, which Grealish has occupied the last 2 games as well. Last night, I sort of had an eye on the England game because I knew we were doing videos about it when I was watching Scotland. And I thought these substitutions was weird. When he took on Henderson, I got that, bringing on Henderson at half-time, fair enough. But then shortly after, he took off his attacking players and put on Rice and Bellingham and almost went to like a 4-3-3. Then only had two attacking players and a striker, and he had 3 centre midfielders. And I just thought, surely you want to almost test Jordan Henderson's fitness here. And you're not going to do that by putting an extra man in the middle with him. I don't know. I mean, you've got Kane is world class. There's no doubt about that. I think you've got, like I said, you've got talent all over the pitch. But even when England should win the group, the expectation is England will win it. And then if you do that, you can play the runner-up of France, Germany, and Portugal. You know, that's your route into the round last 16. That is who you're going to play in the last 16. You're going to play one of those 3 teams. And I struggle to see you get past them. And it's not because of players. It's not because of the team on paper. Because I think, arguably, you can stand up to them. I think there's not much between them. But when it comes down to tactics and stuff, I don't have very much faith in Gareth Southgate, in all honesty with you. I thought he was all right. I used to think he was all right. But my rule of thumb, and as mental as it sounds, is if Moyes left tomorrow, would I take Southgate if he left the England job this summer? Not a chance. I wouldn't want Southgate at West Ham. And you should have the best manager possible in charge of the country. That should be the best job in the country. It's not really. It's money, Premier League and stuff. But I don't know. Whenever I watched England, I just think it's not quite good enough. I think the players are almost better for their clubs, and I think you've got to put a lot of that down to the manager in charge.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't instill confidence. I think he's going to need a big win in the first game. I think that will then instill some confidence. It's not actually just the team; it's the fans, because he might well be an excellent character to have around. It may well be that actually the team are confident in him. Maybe what the instruction he gives on the training pitch is perfectly coherent and believable, and the players will get behind it. But us as fans, us that sit here with our red and white tops on, wanting England to do well, I don't think we quite believe it. And so I think he needs a swashbuckling performance. And if he does, the suspicion is amongst fans that he's going to go to 3 at the back, and he's going to play a couple of defensive players in central midfield. Now, that's all well and good if that's your mantra and that's your ethos, but we've sort of wasted these warm-up games if that's the case.
But you don't want to reveal what you're going to do you?
Oh, I think you do. I think that's fine. International football. I'll be at France, and actually I saw Griezmann score a lovely goal for France the other night. But Mbappe was playing, Griezmann was playing. I haven't got France are good enough to put out 2 brilliant first choice 11. So I would be lying if I said I knew what their first choice was. But I don't see it. I'm not sure if anyone else is playing possum on that. I think, you need to get the team integrated. You need to get the team playing together. It almost felt to me, there's no way. Listen, whether you think he's right or wrong to include Ward-Prowse, Ollie Watkins, Jesse Lingard is by the by. That's the last warm-up game before the championship. There's no way he should have been including players who aren't even travelling. It's ridiculous. I bet hardly anyone. I'd love to know. We won't know the stats, so we won't know who's done it. I bet there are very, very few coaches of other countries that in their final warm-up game were playing players that aren't even going to make the squad. It just seems. I wish he was a bit more ruthless. He doesn't seem to realise in a ruthless job. He's just trying to not upset everybody, be it the players, be it the press, be it the fans, everyone. He's sort of, sorry, you're not in the squad, but you can play. And come on, just make your decisions.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. I think it was the only way I could understand if he was playing one or two of them last night was to almost say to Ben White or James Ward-Prowse, I'm picking one of you two. You've got 90 minutes tonight. But he didn't even give James Ward-Prowse 90 minutes. He got 70 or whatever and said, right, off you come. And I'd almost be concerned if that was the case, because that would show that he hasn't even made his mind up who he wants in his squad kind of thing. So I completely agree with that. And I do get what you're saying with your tactics. When I said that he just doesn't want to reveal his tactics, I'm just trying to say that's why I think he's going 4 at the back. If he is going to switch to 3, because Tyrone Mings, as far as I'm aware, hasn't played in the back 3 all season. Villa always played in the back 4. He might have played in the back 3 occasionally. But to then play in the back 4 in 2 friendlies and against Croatia, go, right, Tyrone, you're on the left of a back 3. He's like, well, hang on a minute. I'm not played in this formation for a long time. Now, Mings has obviously played left back, natural left back quite a bit. Yes. Played there before Villa stuff. But again, it's just poor preparation. You can't watch Mings. I mean, he didn't even look good at the back 4. We can't watch him in the back 4 and then put him in the back 3 and expect him to become good at it. So I get what you're saying. I get your worries, your frustrations. I think there's massive pressure on England, and a lot of people obviously talk to me about the Scotland-England game, and I keep saying to them, it's impossible to tell right now. Of course England are going to be favourites. Of course I expect nothing. However, if you were to fail to beat Croatia and we got a good result against Czech Republic, the pressure on England when they face Scotland would be immense. It would be unbelievable. A point for Scotland would be a good result. But that would be a disaster for England if you don't pick up 6 points out of 6 against Croatia and Scotland. It would almost be bad. So I think Croatia is possibly the worst team for England to start with in this group game. I think if you were to play against Scotland in the opener, I think you'd win it. I think you would. I think the pressure on Scotland would be incredible as well. You're the underdogs, you're the old rivals kind of thing, what you can do, and we're just not quite as good as you. But I think Croatia actually, while I don't rate them as much as they used to, they're not as good as they were a few years ago. They're not too bad. They've got a decent record against England. I think Czech Republic will be difficult to beat as well.
They lost badly yesterday, didn't they?
They look crap. They've looked rubbish in their friendlies. Czech Republic, they've looked rubbish. But as West Ham fans, because we know Soufal and Czech, and we know of Crown and another couple of Czech Republicans, our opinion of the Czech Republic is probably a bit skewed. I think our opinion is different to Man United fans' opinion of the Czech Republic side.
Yeah.
So I do think we probably rate them higher than they actually are. But it'd be an interesting group. I think we've got 4 teams there that are good on their day. I think the pressure's all on England to go on and win the group. And then, like I said, I think you'll get knocked out in the next round. I think you'll play, like I said, it'll be probably Germany or Portugal you play. And I think Southgate will get done by whichever one he comes up against.
Thank you.
You should be able to win it. Listen, you've got the players. There's no doubt about that. I just don't think you've got the manager.
It's a fair assessment. It's a fair assessment. I'd be lying if I said I was brimming with confidence. Gio, we got any Declan Rice t-shirts left?
We do. We've got a few. If you want one, Gonzo's modelling it. I refuse to wear one. There it goes. You've got the C and the E in the picture, and he's got worse. He's gone the wrong way. They're £17.50. Still the wrong way. There you go. That's like your hopes at. That's like your hopes at the Euros all over the place.
It says Declan Rice at the back, apparently.
You can email us. hammerschat@gmail.com. Email us the 1750 plus posters. Get in touch and we'll get posted out the next day to you. But more importantly, join Scorito. The link's in the description.
Yeah, and I just want to thank everybody that's joined up to our Patreon over the last few days. It's massively appreciated. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the link for that's in the description below if you haven't, by the way. Link for everything is in the description below. Almost everything. We're going to be bothering you with a lot of Euros content on all channels, be it Patreon, this channel, or the main channel. Just bothering you, basically. Thanks for joining us. Gio, thank you very much for coming dressed for the occasion. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody now because I can't be bothered to do the music. Gio, thank you very much, my friend.
Goodbye.
Mm.